Jesus. Alright. DOT getting with it. All right. Wait for some of y'all to roll in. I'm going to fill up my water real quick. Filling up my water. Don't know if anybody heard, but that's why you have silent air, but not a silent chart. Um, this market is gangbusters right now. Broke the 73. It's been gone. Nobody wants to buy that first 100K BTC, but it will happen. Good morning, Mike. Um, Look how tight this action is right here currently. That's really tight. I don't have a tightness indicator on this chart. Um, but if I did, actually I can. Um, my breadth indicator. Oh, there it is. Oh, I guess it shows a bunch of. Doesn't show as tight right here for some reason. That's weird. Okay. Well, all right. Anyway, looks super freaking tight. Oh, it's because volume's not small. My breadth indicator also takes volume into consideration. Oh, with me. Yeah, well, I realized I had like a quarter cup of water and I just figured I'd jump out right in the beginning. So this whole market is just, I mean, look at this 34% for DOT. Talk about making it all back in one trade. Straight back volume started right at the beginning of today. Um, lead up into it there, but non-stop right now. Way too high to get involved with, but just non-stop at the moment. Guys, I honestly think this is the beginning of a big bull run. This isn't just go to 100K and fail. If it is, then that really sucks because all the markers right now are looking great. Everything is participating. Um, I didn't have any time to go through the alts. We'll do that a little bit later. But if you look at my altcoin list, 23%, 19%, 20%, 11, 11, 11, 10, 15. So I haven't even scrolled yet, and I have like 10 double digit percentage gainers. So it's just too much to go through. Yeah, I know it's hard to do that, hard to rotate, but it brings breadth in the market. Um, I don't know, I've been trying to think of the dynamic. Usually we're pretty good and spot on with understanding the flow, from one coin into another. That is something I think we've done really well in the past, but this time it just seems random. It just seems really random. Maybe that means more professionals are in it. I'm really not sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, BTC pairs each roundup. We'll do that after top 20. Um but yeah, it's just pretty random. There's the Doge factor with the Trump election and some other ones. Cardano's been attributed to that. Um, so we'll see how it all goes from that perspective. But the rotation's been interesting. This is the first rotation, really a real rotation into these lagging layer ones. AVAX, DOT, these ones that really haven't been getting going. AVAX had a really good breakout yesterday. Tron getting going, which has just been a piece of dog garbage for ever since I saw it. It just sucked. Yeah, so they're rotating into these abstract layer ones, which I think brings in breadth. And it's not bad action. Like this is good. It's not insanely crazy action. Like just use Toncoin as an example. It's not insanely crazy action. It's just good action, solid action. And to me, it means it should continue for some time. BTC isn't, you know. So let's start our top 20 here. Um, Solid. What's rushed about? There's nothing rushed about this. The only maybe flaw you've got is declining volume here. But even if you draw that out, you're going to get average back in late December. So in like 2-3 weeks. Well, early mid December. So like 2 or 3 weeks. But when we break up, I'm sure we'll stay high volume. So sometimes what happens is when you get accelerated volume like this, it doesn't always like this is a pretty clear downtrend in terms of volume right here. And we may follow that, so here we broke out, we moved up a little bit, but here we're moving up a lot more. There's about twice as much candles moving up, something like that. So we could stall out. I mean, that's always possible, but it just looks really good right now. Maybe one flaw, now that I'm looking at this from that perspective, this volume aggregation tool, and this sometimes has some validity, not all the time, but there seems to be a line recently over these peaks, and we're getting close to that. That could maybe be a concern, but I never use this in that context. It's not something I usually do, but I have noticed that this happens. So this is going all the way back to the first peak of 60 whatever thousand, then the 69,000 peak. So during this run up, we had a big volume aggregation spike here on the drop from COVID, and then at 4K, holy crap, and then a huge spike on this initial run. So it looks like if we end up spiking past this line, we tend to run. Like, look at this spike right here was just because of the huge drop. There's a lot of turnover down here. That's a capitulation. This is a straight up run. So if we get a straight up run from here, passing this trend line could be one of those little things to look for. Maybe. I mean, it's nothing definitive. So there's 3 touches on it overall. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm just going to leave that up there. And then in 3 days, wonder why I have it up there. But, oh, here's our targets over here. Remember our targets we placed in? So we passed the first one. This was a measured move from down here to up here. So that one's been surpassed. Next up is 121. I don't remember how I derived all these. These are percentages derived. I think these are measured moves, these 2 smaller ones. I think these other 2 are percentage derived, which are very similar to measured moves, but derived from different runs, things like that. So surpassed the first one, then we got 121, we got 167, and then the granddaddy at 330. I mean, if you look at this in context, well, I guess it's really going to screw with my lines if I do that. Yeah, it's going to be, let me try to find something that looks halfway decent. I can hide that or something. I don't know. Well, I guess we don't need this analysis anymore. These were the breakouts. Those were the breakouts from the halvening. So let me get rid of those. Okay, so I mean, looking at this like this does not seem abnormal. Not really. So that crosses right there at 228. That puts our second mark. I believe that's our second mark into play. Where's our other one? Okay. I thought we had... Oh, they're just right on top of each other. There it is. So that one's crossing right in between those two. So whatever. But that's still super high. That's 227. What do you think alts are going to do when Bitcoin's gone up another 127%? Because crazy stuff. And so that one guy talking about the $100 trillion market cap of crypto, I mean, granted, that's kind of a long shot here from last night. We were 3 trillion, 3.3, and we're still at about 3.3. Oh, 3.39. $3.39 from nothing. Jeez. Anyway, that's the big picture. Big picture is potential, and I like this rally. I mean, Mike, do you see anything that is stopping us? I mean, anything. DOT now up 41%. Talk about playing catch up. One day. Make it back in one day. I don't see anything really stopping us here. Nothing technical, nothing volume wise, nothing action wise. Everything's just solid. Solid on top of solid. So the run I've been waiting for 3 years, to be honest with you. I mean, those other 2 runs really never did much. Okay, this is the breakout. All right, next up is yeah, right? I hear you. Yeah, they're running these non-obvious names, and the second you rotate into those, they're going to pop up these other names. That's just, we've seen it too much. But onto Ethereum, which unfortunately has not participated. I feel like a lot of people, maybe it's the fact that a lot of people that have been involved in crypto for a while now have a ton of Ethereum, have a ton of Solana, and just aren't running those names, not quite yet. They're running, these other ones are playing catch up as they've been doing here recently. So, but Ethereum holding out, little cup and handles already broken out. I didn't even make an alert because I didn't think it'd move so fast, but volume not tremendous on this Ethereum breakout. It'll probably still be okay. It'll probably still be fine. But oh yeah, ETH BTC I can imagine is garbage right now. Absolute trash. Yeah, I can imagine that. BTC is just doing so good. Um, so Ethereum will come back if you got a bunch of Ethereum. There's a lot of people holding Ethereum bags, which means there's not a lot of people to buy Ethereum. So yeah, we'll do the full BTC roundup. That'll have all that. I can't imagine what XRP looks like outperforming like that. But ETH is doing good. No major wrongdoing here. Stops could be under the 3255, which probably is a little deep right now. Oh, it's not too bad at 6%. But ETH is really moving. You know what ETH is moving like? It's almost moving like, um, shoot, just escaped me. What was the other token I was gonna? It's kind of moving like Link did when the rest of the market moved and Link didn't. Remember, like a couple of years ago? Or actually, right in here. Remember, Link started good and then just gave it all up and just went, now it's back. I don't know. Or Ethereum reminds me of something. It's just lost all momentum. Like everyone that wants Ethereum, knows about Ethereum, bought Ethereum, and everyone else just doesn't think that it's the thing anymore. That's just what it feels like. There's been a lot of metrics we've discussed that have kind of shown that, you know. All right, next up is Solana, which is just chilling at all-time highs, not doing anything bad, also not doing anything super spectacular. Just little consolidation after little consolidation, good little run up here. Um, it's being supported by this trend line so far, and that's being pretty good. Short-term exit signals, yeah, I mean, yeah, it just depends on your token, but I mean, there's a myriad of them. Yeah, we can go over some stuff like that. I don't have all day today. I do have soccer. Let me double check the time of that. Oh, shoot. If it's at 10, I'm kind of screwed. Sorry, guys. I should have had this ready, I guess, but um, here we go. I'm getting to the page. Lookout Mountain, Eagles. Oh, it's at 11. Okay, so we're good. Game 4, Lookout Eagles 11. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. I was gonna say I'm gonna shortchange everybody. If that happens, I gotta leave in like 15 minutes. Yeah, we're good. All right, Solana doing pretty good up here. Again, not really, we're not having 10, 20% days like some of these are, but this could be another one that a lot of people have already invested quite a bit into. And look at this run it's had from 20 up to 200. I mean, it's already 10x'd. And I can't, looking at the volume here, not a tremendous, look at the VA tools, not a tremendous amount of distribution. So I think a lot of the people in the know bought it down here and they're going to move it up, but not as much as these other ones that they just haven't given a crap about. But it's doing good. And that red line is the all-time high. So we get past that. And I think it could double from there, about 500 bucks, something like that. Definitely, I think it could double in this cycle, especially if this market's going to stay as bullish as it looks like it's going to stay. All right, B&B doing good. Finally with a green candle that hasn't pulled back in. Let's hope it stays that way. VA2 looking okay on the 2-hour time frame. It's not amazing, but B&B doing good right there. XRP's been on a big move. I've had some good alerts here. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, then you don't get them. But 7408, 11324, both were very, very good levels. It's this 1138. Very, very good. Very advantageous. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, we can go over market caps too. Most of the market caps are still pretty spread out. A lot of room for a lot of things to run. I was looking at that last night. But look at how well XRP is behaving. That's the point here. Look at this. You get nice tight consolidation. That was really nice. The problem was, this reminds me of Solana's chart. Holy shit. This is Solana's chart. Little tight consolidation, then a cup and handle. This one's a little bit of high handle. And then it started rallying. So this looks like Solana did early in that run. There's a little consolidation. There's a little cup and handle. There's a little triangle. You get a couple bigger consolidations, but that's pretty. That's kind of what that looks like coming out of lows. Right there's that, yeah, tight consolidation. Very interesting, except just on a shorter time frame. Not quite as easy to see there, but I do think it's there. And the run up, yeah, it's looking like that Solana run up. So vertical. Okay, very good. So you asked Trip about short-term topping signals. Well, the big one that I use is trend lines, but I use them in a specific way. Something I call the pi method. I guess it's known by another name too, but I kind of derived this by myself. So you take a very expansive trend line, and there's rules around it. I don't have time to go into all the rules on this. I did a whole presentation on it, but basically you have to draw the trend lines up, and unless you get any major topping signals, you stay with the trade. If it slices through the trend line with big volume, you exit the trade. And there's some other nuances like market dynamics and stuff like that, but that's the gist of it. If you're super vertical, use the same trend lines in lower time frames. Okay. Um, and if you do a lot of homework yourself, Trip, number one, you'll be better at it. And number two, you'll be able to understand the nuance of the rules. Do it on this Solana parabolic chart right here, which isn't fully parabolic, but you'll see some big exit signals like up here. You start crossing here, and you have some of these big red candles up here. Some of these are big red flags. If they don't cross a trend line, though, you don't really take advantage of them unless it's a very clear topping candle. Um, because then what happens, you end up exiting at good points. You may not get the top, but it's still a really good way to exit. And I've gone over it in several other videos too. I don't think I have them tagged publicly on YouTube, but they're around. Um, yeah, BNB, XRP, yeah. So XRP looking great. Been looking great. It was looking like garbage for years, but just as good as it's been doing. Anytime something behaves well around my alert levels, the thing is being accumulated, because there's some other ones that you have an alert and it chops and it fails. But these on the way up, this 7408, can't say I believe in that too much because XRP has just kind of been trash for the most part for several years at this point. But once it broke out of that, this 113 was on the table, because look at that rally. That's almost a double, not quite, like 80%, whatever it is. It's a lot, and it was a good rally too. Yeah, 70%. Good rally, nice tight consolidation, perfect stuff. Perfect stuff. Yeah, well, whatever the dynamic, you know what I mean? I mean, it can't just be only because Gensler resigned. There's lots of maybe crypto's going up because Gensler resigned. Whatever it is, it looks like a big rally. You know what I'm saying? But and Loopy, don't fall into the trap. Um, I don't know. I think it's a trap to really assign events, because if you focus on the events and not the price action, then it's good to have the knowledge, but you don't know when to exit, and you don't know when to exit essentially. So good to know those kinds of things, but uh, whoever was in the know are the people we're following here in reality. All right, next up is Doge, which is doing amazingly. Obviously, this is an Elon play, pulling back right now to the 41766. Had a good breakout early today, and a little bit of a rotation in on low volume, so nothing really too bad here. Um, Doge is kind of an enigma. Fundamentally, I mean, nothing makes sense with it. 75 cents is the high. We're at 44. So I can imagine, we'll go up and hit that high at some point. Very, very beautiful extensions up. Did good in the cup here, this 13.2. Now the 41.7. Sometimes these first pullbacks can be good buys. Try to have your stop where volume came in, put it under that volume, because they're going to want to support those levels. So probably this 38 cent level, if you can hold that, if that's good for you there. But Doge is in a really good spot. Cardano extending dramatically after just doing nothing, literal nothing, for a very long time. And then boom, look at the volume on Cardano. So another Trump play from my understanding, right? I guess he's friends with the Trump administration. So whatever that means to whoever that means that to, They're buying a bunch of it right here. Look at this volume. And then this is, I mean, you got to go back 4 years to see this kind of action coming into Cardano. And that was a very large run that started. And it looks like we're going to start it again here. So I don't know, get up probably maybe past all-time highs, maybe a little bit past that. Hard to say exactly, but yeah, there's the early Cardano runs which aren't here, which come from all the way down here. But that's the start of something right there. VA tool looks great. RSI is pretty high, but I don't think there's anything too bad going on here. Too high to do anything with, though. I don't think you can buy it up here. Little base on base structure, nice explosion. Just good stuff all around. Cardano's been behaving very well. Similar to XRP with these trend line breaks, it's behaved very well. Little porosity here, but really nothing too bad. And this one was spot on. That one just held the support, and then boom, went right back up. So you got to believe them when they're running like this. If you're late to them, you get these bases. So no one's going to catch this run, but you catch the base, and then you catch the early breakout in the base, especially when things are strong. They're strong right now, but Cardano's already had a big run. It's hard to say that it's going to continue. It'll have to consolidate larger at some point. All right, Tron just getting some stalling right there. So you look for a topping candle. That could be a topping candle. And so this one finally making a good move. 16 up to 22. I guess it's not too good of a move percentage-wise. 36% is not too bad. Yeah, Elon and Doge, exactly. That's a good sentence for something I said in about 45 seconds. Good job there, Loopy. Tron's been also kind of an enigma. If, we looked at some market cap stuff last weekend, and Tron was one of the most steady performers and gaining market cap. So Tron has been a huge winner, at least in terms of market cap. The percentage-wise, it really hasn't had amazing runs, but it's been very steady. So holding this very long-term trend line, you can see these extensions up. You can exit on those parabolic moves. We could be in one right now. This has been a huge up move. And if you look at the 2-hour time frame, so we have the breakout candle right there. And this candle that just printed on my 2-hour is like the 4th or 5th biggest candle. So that in itself could be an exit signal. And if you look at, we talked about parabolic trend lines. So we're not fully crossed that one yet. We could find some support. But even so, you could have drawn this one. And I don't know. That's not quite a break. Tricky one. Again, I do still think that we're in a good spot in this overall cycle. I mean, if BTC just fails 100,000, I would be shocked. Yeah, it doesn't look right to me. I'd be shocked if it just failed 100,000. So, and all these that consolidate and pull back, like if you got leverage positions, margin positions, you want to exit on these big candles. Because it's going to back and fill. You can find another entry, most likely. Because if you hold on, it's just going to evaporate most of those gains, and they're hard-fought gains. The market doesn't run like this often, so take them when you got them, especially if you're on margin. Shiba swap, kind of trying to get going, but you can see it's already backing and filling, pulling in. Shiba's kind of dumb. Doge is the better Shiba. Tron. Tron sucks, but is going today for some reason. Already getting a little bit of distribution, taking advantage of that. Big picture-wise, it's definitely holding up. I talk a lot of garbage about this name because it's just done nothing. But to give it some respect, it is holding in very high levels respectively to all of, like this basing structure broke out very nicely, as a matter of fact. And we could be on a first leg of another leg up for this name, which generally does trade choppy. If you look at the run-up, you got this big red shakeout candle, which just obliterates positions. This cup and handle worked well right there, but it just leads into another base, which had a breakout of 33%. So very standard stuff for this name. 26% breakout there, 34% breakout there. It's not going to give you huge percentages, but it could perform. AVAX pulling in a little bit. Looks like we're pulling in a little bit right now. Solana's negative. Pulling in a little bit after a really good start to the day. AVAX finally move out of the 37.31. Great volume yesterday. Look at this volume. It's like third highest, but only by a slight margin. Very good breakout candle. Backing and filling could be bought if you find a good bottoming candle. Um, you never know what kind of consolidation it's going to put in. One unfortunate thing to AVAX is it's well underneath highs. So Solana's at high. Solana's way up here. AVAX is underperforming. It could rally back hard, but it's an unknown. I like to stay with leaders. I do like AVAX, but it's not a leader. Sui right now can't get out of its own way, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Everyone's going to forget about Sui, but what's going to happen is that eventually it'll base out, and its next explosion up will be a good move up. It, at least likely. It's likely. It's not nothing's guaranteed, obviously, but it's what tends to happen. Lots of room until this trend line comes into play, and it's been doing a pretty good job of respecting that trend line. I would assume that would continue, but you just don't know when it's going to move up. So nothing to do with it at the moment. I don't think you're buying lows right now. It's already failed to have any higher high for the past week while the rest of the market's rallying, so it's out of favor at the moment. Bitcoin Cash pulling in, not a huge surprise, but I would like Brett to stay Bretthy, and it's just not doing that, unfortunately. Link, Chainlink doing pretty good. Good rally yesterday, good volume. Not a ton. The V8 tool does look pretty good. Very big volume day compared to, say, this day. It's about, what, 33% above that volume, but the candle's the same size. That indicates some distribution. So there's hidden distribution on that candle. And I don't know. Chainlink just really hasn't been getting the job done. You have to love this name and just hold it for a while. It'll perform with the market. Pepe doing okay. Not really extending, though. We have the 2108. Remember I mentioned a little bit ago when the alerts kind of work and don't. This one's not really working. Could mean I have the wrong alert. That's a full possibility. Because as the market evolves, the alerts do change. So that could be a good new alert. But if you look at where this alert is versus where XRP's alert was, it's higher. Look at where this line came into play versus the high. It's in the middle of this drop, it looks like. And then you go to Pepe, and Pepe's is way up. Yeah, it's way up there. You see it better on the daily, but it's way high now. So I think this was a better alert. The fact that it chopped through this means it's not as in favor as an XRP. All right, DOT with a big expansive move today. So talk about not seeing something coming. I think the only way you probably would have gotten that is maybe with a rising wedge trend line break, which I viewed this as more of a cup and handle, but broke the top line right there. Wasn't looking for something like that though. But what a good extension here. Look what it did late yesterday. So look at the VA tool. It kind of tells the story. It did okay, and then, breaks the trend line. Then this volume comes in. Look at the selling pressure. It just stays flat. And then here it starts to go down a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but it goes down a little bit as it breaks out. There's got to be something to that on the smaller time frames where the selling pressure goes down, the buying pressure goes up, where it just causes these parabolic moves. And that's what you have right now. And with this a stalling candle shaping up as we get close to 950. So there's a bigger picture on DOT. Another one that's way down. Way down. Highs at 50. Maybe it'll come back, have a long way to go, but buying laggards like this, I don't know. I've never had good luck buying laggards, so I don't really advise it. There's gonna be someone that likes it though. And it's got good volume. It's got really good volume. Yeah, that's the best volume since you had these first initial runs. There's a capitulation, and then a bunch of nothing, and then you have some support down here. So, yeah, patience will win on this one, I think. But it's too high to buy right now. Wait for the pullback to complete itself. If it backs and fills sideways, that's very good. Very, very good. You'll see that in XRP and Doge backing and filling sideways. Near protocol, still can't get out of its own way. Not much to do here. Struggled here at the 555 on this little consolidation. Could consider this maybe a base on base. So far it's failing this breakout at the 63, 64, 6.4, excuse me. Not doing too good there. Leo, another small consolidation. Finally broke down a little bit late yesterday. Nothing too bad here. Looks like it's still in its trend. So this could be a buyable breakout. Stop could be under there, but this is a very wide illiquid token, which means it's going to have these wide moves. So stops are almost not even advised in these situations, which typically means you don't trade them. All right, Litecoin finally with some action, but even now kind of coming back in a little bit. So buying these breakouts has been treacherous for Litecoin. You buy this breakout, boom, you get stopped out right there. You think you're buying that breakout. That one kind of works, but who the hell's buying that? You buy this, yeah, then you buy this breakout. If it comes back in, you're toast. So it's tough. Pullback or shakeout? Um, well, we're already seeing a pullback in some tokens. It depends how these consolidations play out, right? It just depends how the consolidations play out. So far, they've been really bullish, and I do think it's per token. I think the leaders leaders will continue leading, but they're due larger bases. So if you take a look at an XRP, like this is due a large structure. Go back and look at the structure of how things move up and down. They don't move up parabolic forever. This isn't 2017, 2017, 2018, 2019. So they move up and they consolidate. Then they're behaving a lot more like more normalized stocks. Because the thing with crypto that's different from stocks is you have a lot fewer options. Now, nominally, meaning the amount of numbers there are, yeah, you got more options in crypto. But in terms of good things, way more good stocks than good cryptos. So they're starting to behave more like good stocks, meaning they'll move up even if it's dramatically, and then they'll base out. So you want to wait for the bases. And if you want to exit, it's always it's exiting is the hardest thing you can do. Getting in is easy, exiting is hard. And to exit effectively, um, it takes a number of things. First of all, you have to understand why you're in the trade. Is it a technical reason? Is it a fundamental reason? Because guys that are in it for fundamental reasons, it's kind of hard to convince them to sell. Because the problem is the fundamentals never change. Well, the technicals change all the damn time. But knowing, when to sell, what technical signal is a bit of an art. And that can only come from looking at prior tops and things like that. You have to look at prior tops, look at the cycles to know, okay, are we still good? And with BTC, doing pretty good up here, I would say we're definitely not done. But we have ran substantially names like Doge, XRP, Cardano now. So you get these. Oh, look, that just pulled all, Doge just pulled all the way back. So you're seeing some selling pressure because guys have a lot of money built in here. They're going to want to take some profits, and bases let them take profits. So bases are not bad, but at the same time, do you want to take your profit, or are you going to let it ride for the next leg? And sometimes that's derived from how much volume is being sold. So right now it doesn't look like a lot. Okay, so 30 minutes into this candle. Okay, that's a good amount of selling pressure. You can go to the 5 minute, see where most of this volume comes in. So big spike down. So ideally that low can hold, and that would be good. That would also be a retest of the breakout. So it's just a constant judgment call, which is definitely hard. It's the hardest part to trading. It really is. It's exiting. Yeah, trading is difficult. All right. Yeah, Pepe. No, we got to near. We got to Leo. We got to Litecoin. APT. APT. Much ado about nothing here. There's better tokens to trade. Same with Litecoin. Same with Leo. Same with near. We'll see what DOT does. We'll see how DOT bases out. Maybe that'll get back into the. Any small consolidation that's nice and tight can be bought on DOT at this point. Yeah, we already did Chainlink. Nothing crazy going on with Chainlink. It's just moving with the markets. It's not a leader any longer. It's not gonna. I mean, I don't anticipate that it's gonna move up, but DOT just had a 30% day. So what do I know? Um, every coin's gonna have its day. Link really hasn't had one yet. And we just talked about some hidden distribution in yesterday's candle. Um, so it's good though. Like if you've got it, there's no reason to ditch it. I don't think. If you're looking to enter it, it's too high in my opinion. It's already moved out from levels. Those levels weren't even really clear. Like we had these low 1271 levels. It stayed down here forever. 1271 looks like it was a good pivot point across those highs. Came back, slapped it, and moved on. That was your best buy right there. But Chainlink's a little difficult. This was on that straight run up after the election. Hard to buy that. It was kind of hard to buy that, at least for me. Um, I didn't buy. Well, I bought Palant. I bought some stocks straight after the election, but anyway, this has behaved good since then. Next best buy is probably yesterday, maybe right there. So if it comes back and slaps this 15.5, maybe you can try to get it. But it hasn't had the momentum. So you want to stay with leaders that have momentum. Chainlink is not a leader, nor does it have momentum. And Uniswap is can't get out of its own way. Doing good today though, up 9-10%. Today's AVAX is negative now. Okay. Let's go through. We were going to do BTC roundup. Oh, Ichi roundup or BTC roundup or both? BTC pairs Ichi roundup. Are those two separate things, Mike, or are those the same things? Do you want me to Ichi BTC pairs? Ah, gotcha. Okay. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Public because it's freaking good day in the markets and good stuff going on here. So hit that like button if you guys enjoy the show. Um, I'd appreciate that. BTC pairs. Oh, I don't have top 20 BTC anymore. Did I get rid of those? A bunch of these that are gone from the years of these being up here. Coin? I don't think that's on my list. Is it doing anything? Man, look at all these coins. Okay, well shoot. I didn't fully realize that recently. Oh, open list. Ah, here we go. Top 20 BTC. That I didn't think I deleted it. Would be a good time to trade some of this altcoin back, trade BTC now. I think it depends on the altcoin, to be honest with you. All right, let's go daily. Jeez, yeah, look, that's fallen well out of that channel. Eek. All right, Ichimoku on BTC pairs, top 20. Matic no longer exists, and we're going to be missing a few in here. Sui BTC for sure. Do we have Solana, BNB, XRP, Chainlink, Litecoin, DOT, Doge? This is an old list, very old. Look, Adams up here. That's funny. Bitcoin Cash. What are we missing up here from the top 20? BTC, Cardano. No, we got most of it. XRP. I think most of it. XRP, Doge, Cardano, Tron. Yeah, I think we've got them. Okay. Check out target on Jasmine mid next long term. Okay, I'll check on that in a bit. We're going to go through these top 20, and then what was the other thing you wanted, Mike? Or was it just, ETH BTC, XRP BTC, okay. So here's Ichimoku on BTC pairs. ETH BTC sucks. BNB BTC, horrible. Because BNB really hasn't done much. It's having a good day today, though, so that's why it's got a green day today. But it's the first really decent day since this day, which didn't do anything. So hopefully this can start to do something, but it's way out of any semblance of a buy. Solana keeping pace with BTC here, and that's about it. I'm going to get rid of Ichi for a second. Okay, it's getting some okay volume. VA tool's not in the right spot. Maybe it'll start to break a level there or something, but it's just pacing BTC right now. XRP with a full-blown breakout of the Ichi cloud. That was your day back 8 days ago on the 15th. Yep, that makes sense. That looks pretty good. Cardano very similar. On the 9th, however, breaking on the 9th, broke earlier than XRP. Great move up here. Definitely getting some distribution. Look at that volume candle. Not a lot of price progress right there. They've been selling this for BTC, it looks like. At least that's what the chart implies. Interesting. All right, Chainlink, maybe on the verge of breaking the cloud, but we kind of touched it over here as well. It didn't really amount to anything. We'll see how that goes. Litecoin can't get out of its own way here. Touch the green line, pulling back. Nothing to do right there. DOT popping up today. Obviously, get a 30% day. It's going to outperform BTC. Um, all in all, really isn't doing good actually at all. This sucks. What am I talking about? I'm just looking at the Ichimoku cloud. I'm looking at it ride the Ichi cloud going, oh, that's pretty good. And then I'm like, wait a minute. It's fucking at a 45-degree angle downwards. It sucks. So not not very good right there. Doge. Are we selling off right now? And nothing too crazy. Looks like a rounding top could find support maybe back here at the 95.7 if it even continues too long. So yeah, don't get too caught up in a ton of selling. Oh, wow, actually breaking a trend line right there. Ah, maybe we'll get a consolidation on 100K. So ETH, Solana, stalling. XRP with a nice little chunk there. Cardano pulling in a little bit. Yeah, weekend volatility. Who mentioned that? Solidas, weekend volatility now. Yeah. It's a weird dynamic between the stock market time frame and after stock market time frame. There's definitely, they definitely move it differently. So, Sui pulling in a little bit more. DOT looking a lot more like a topping candle. Look at that. Look at the volume on DOT right now. That is a topping signature. Although it is being bought up a little bit. Let's go smaller time frame on this. So there's that bottom, and we start undercutting that, then it's kind of, game over for that for a minute. Okay. That still has a little bit of room to play too on DOT. Yeah, nothing crazy on the pullback. It's there, but All right, let's get back to BTC pairs, and there we go. Ichimoku. Oh, wrong one. Top 20 BTC. So Doge, so DOT with the verticality right there. Um, man, look at Doge. Very solid right there in terms of BTC. And then, so breaks out of the cloud here back in September, comes back in, then breaks out again in mid-October. Huh. What the hell is going on mid-October? October 16th. Man, this thing just behaving well. Yeah, started to break out of that cup, a little pivot point and cup. Interesting right there. Yeah, before anything else, uh, Doge is almost a bona fide leader, man. That's crazy. So it's important to pay attention to the charts and not have biases against tokens. That's why it's important, 100%. Because Doge really is a garbage token. but it's turning into something, so good for them. All right, Uniswap sucks. AVAX trying to get up here. I think it needs a high before you consider buying this. I don't think you buy it because it broke the cloud. It's gotta move up over something like this 46.50 on the BTC pair side of it. Atom moved up yesterday, breaking the cloud right there. So yeah, BTC stalling up here at 100K. Alt's kind of taking a little bit of a run. Yeah, maybe we're gonna take a BTC stall and an Alt's run. Will Alts go up? Hard to say. Could be. Near protocol, not doing nothing. Ton, way under the cloud. Shiba, nothing but green pocket pivots forever. What the heck? Talk about an infinite money glitch. Our size pegged at 100. What's going on with this chart? Oh, maybe it's because all the zeros. Look at all the zeros on Shiba versus BTC. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. That's insane. This looks like the greenest chart of all time if you look down here, but you look up here and it's atrocious. That's hilarious. Tron sucks. Bitcoin Cash sucks. And Sui, not too bad. Okay, versus BTC, not too bad. Still, for the most part, though, if you take a zoomed out look of most of these, pretty much most everything underperforms BTC, don't they? Over time. Even Ethereum. Even Solana. Getting close, though. Getting close. Look at how tight this action is right there. That's super tight. Solana's going to go huge. Look at that shit right there, Mike. That's got to go huge, right? That's got to go. Looks like I already had. Look at that. There's no way that doesn't go. Of course, I think at some point we said that about Ethereum too. Maybe right here. Yeah, newer tokens. Yeah, we talked about that. Newer tokens usually get the juice, but that's what's funny about this cycle too. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like you look right here, like oh that's got to go. It looks like a nice flag, low volume. Then it just does garbage. Maybe that's the flaw in the system. We've never seen that yet. I mean, and then you look at Solana. Maybe that's going to be the flaw in Solana, right? It's not, won't be able to. So that's only 61%. But that's just, what's that in terms of, that's not a market cap thing. That's just a percentage chart thing. So this isn't a flippening, right? If we look at, where's the one where it shows us the dominance. Like you look at dominance and Bitcoin's back up here. Oh, they changed this since the last time I've seen it. Obviously, no flippening's happening. BTC is so large, but then you got Solana at 2.99%. Because over here, I think you're right. If you look at right there, I think that's the flag we were looking at. Yeah, maybe that could have been a flippening of sorts, but that's only 60%. Solana goes up 60%. BTC is going up. That's not going to kill anything. That could happen. 60% is only 60, so 180. Solana only worth 180 if you go up, 50%. Well under Ethereum's market cap. But yeah, I mean, 121 to 410, I think that's feasible. Definitely think that's feasible. And I think that chart would show it well outperforming. So maybe they're just getting those others, let everyone forget about Solana. Because here's the thing, right? They're going to sell with all this shit that's going on right now. You got guys that are selling all their long holding tokens to participate in this DOT rally, in this, Tron rally, whatever shit they're pumping. But then once that's all done, Solana is just gonna go. And it's already kind of started. I don't know. It's a theory. I mean, the volume doesn't necessarily support that, but look at that BTC chart. It looks pretty good. I'm not mad at it. All right. Does BTC pairs? I got to go through top 20 USD tokens or USD pairs because I didn't. I didn't go through any USD pairs. Yeah, exactly. Yep. No, you're right, Mike. Who knows the games they play? They play games like that all the time. We've seen it time and time again. Like you look at Sui and how languishing that is. That's kind of how I feel about Sui too. Unless the fundamental thing changes. So, okay, I'm going to breeze through the top. Well, it's like 160 tokens in here, or however many it is. It's a lot. I'm going to go through here and just make comments as we go through. And I don't know what token I'm looking at. I just didn't do this before I did the newsletter because I ran out of time. I was working on a project, kind of lost track of time this morning. So I'm going to go through here. And if I see something good, I'll kind of really call it out. Algorand has been in a big run up. Kind of, I've been sleeping on that one a little bit, unfortunately. So ARC right there with kind of good like little basing structure. You're gonna get a lot more today live than I do on the newsletter because I don't do little notes like this on the newsletter. But little basing structure here doing pretty good. Declining trend line, declining trend line, declining trend line. That could break out, but it not quite an ascending base there, Mike. This one undercut too much. But that would be an ascending base type. AR right there looking pretty good. See if it backs and fills, but really hasn't. I like ones that get going and then base, not just coming out of nowhere. Really isn't very good. So a lot of these uptrends are really choppy. Look at that band. That's really choppy. BAT, choppy uptrend, extending up today, which is good. Bitcoin Cash stalling because it sucks. Blur could break out of this area and do okay. Nice consolidation there. Bonk rolled over a few days ago. Hasn't really looked the same. It's going to need support. Then it'll rotate back up with some pocket pivots. Brent looking pretty good. Didn't get going out of the flag. BitTorrent, this has been really garbage for a long time, except for that one time when it wasn't. PancakeSwap ideally gets going. Dash and Old Hat token looking pretty good right there. Old Hat's going, but still with like general big lower highs in this sequence. So don't want to get too excited about an Old Hat. DYM, nice sideways consolidation. If that breaks out, that could be good. But see, most of these that haven't broken out yet, it's hard to say they're gonna do great. EOS has been doing pretty good. This could turn into a ascending base, Mike. Boom, boom. If we get a nice little pullback, maybe buy at the 71.22. Ascending bases are pretty powerful. Then you should get a breakout there. If you're lucky, crosses $1. Good volume. Yeah, if this consolidates here for a few days, that could turn into an ascending base. Remember we were talking last week about ascending bases? This is a good candidate. It needs the third base though. Foul token, pretty good right here. These choppy things are hard for me to contend with. I don't like them, so I avoid them most of the time. But good extension here. Get a good base on some of these. It could be viable. Floki with a nice consolidation. This is pretty good. I like this. So when coins are able to get up and hold up, that's bullish, right? Darn it, hit the wrong button. Nice little channel for Floki. Just Flow, pretty good. This one has been pretty choppy, backing and filling decently, but extending up here today. Probably will also back and fill. Flare with a looks like cup and handle on the 2-hour on the left. Nice extension, holding higher. Looks like generally a choppy token. Maybe hard to hold, but could definitely be worth it on a breakout. FTM up 16%, trying to break out. Let's see if it holds. Has a pullback on the 2-hour here. Nothing too crazy. We're getting supported. That's good. This fast token came on. It's been doing pretty good actually since that crazy ass shakeout. Here's a good example of using a trend line to exit. So and then just freaking cratered, killed everybody, and now it's back in all-time highs. Low float tokens are no fun to play with. Bunch of these kind of suck. GRT doing okay, getting some stalling today. That's tough. Why is this? Why is the day marker different on this one than other tokens? These are my day lines on the 2 hour. It's different on this HTX exchange. That's weird. Okay, good to note. Hedra Hashgraph, talk about, man, a monster run up. Hard to jump in on this one. This one was they had a couple consolidations, and that was about it. Um, yeah, this was a tough one. This was tough to get. I know some of the guys I think actually run HBAR nodes if I'm not mistaken. Look at that extension up though. Very very good looking chart. It's a little bit wide and loose, um, but pretty good. Hard to do anything now. You got to wait for, like, this was a good pocket pivot, but now it's pulling in. Wait till this consolidation ends. Look for another form of a pocket pivot or bottoming candle. Could be a good entry. Still a gamble though because we stalled over the breakout. You want to cleanly break out, which this one right now is not doing. ICP with a good day yesterday. Do you trust it? That's the that's the key there for ICP is do you trust it? Jasmine with a nice move, some topping action there a little bit. I started getting kind of boring. Even I'm yawning. KCS a nice move up. There you go. Getting some distribution though is a little bit concerning, but not bad. KCS. Oh wow, KSM. Damn. Look at that, 67%. I told you to buy it down here. That's funny. Wow. So speaking of selling a parabolic move, trend lines on lower time frames, look for high volume stalling candles. This one stalled out, could have sold it, could have rebought, but you are getting some distribution here a little bit. It's so far doing okay above that, but that is a sell candle. I mean, come on, you're up 50, 60%. You get a super high volume candle, you sell it, you can try to re-enter. There's some rules, or I guess not rules, best practices. You can try to buy off trend line breaks, RSI trend line breaks, try to buy off low RSI prints, especially if volume's diminishing, which this did. This volume diminished nicely. You can try to sell here, maybe try to rebuy if you're gonna be day trading it. Um, Other than that, if you got in lower, first of all, congratulations. How the hell did you do that? Second of all, um, you have the option to hold, and then up here, it's not bad, but it could stall. I mean, KSM isn't a leader. It's not. It obviously it's running. I don't know why. KSM. Oh, DOT. That's what it is. KSM is the test node for DOT. That's why it's running. That's why it's running. So yeah, if it's a start of something, maybe try to stay with it. But you could sell that one. You could re-enter on a pullback or a trend line break. 'Cause it didn't fall apart. Like so, if you want to go back and look, it may be hard at this point because we haven't had parabolic moves in a long time. But what you can do is look for these big old selling signals. You'll often notice there's consolidations. If it's just a consolidation, which this appears to be, you can jump right back in. The problem with that is if you're on high margin, your good stop is gone. So it's a tough choice. You could take some profit. You take like quarter profit if you're really really bullish. Take a quarter profit, and then if it goes up again, stalls again, take a quarter profit. Whatever you want to do to capture profits, do that thing. But this is coming back here pretty good. Manta. Manta doesn't look so bad. Breaking out of this low structure. This thing has never had a run on Binance. Holy crap! Wow. This thing, I don't know. Maybe it has some legs behind it. Doesn't have a ton of. You don't see a ton of red candles here. Not a super clean entry. Not really. I guess that could have been your handle. Maybe buy that earlier today. 15% up. This could go for a little run. This could go for a run. It's definitely possible. 39 million, 390 million market cap. It's a network. Is it rank 172? Is it a layer 1? Nope. Ethereum ecosystem, Polkadot ecosystem, Web 3, layer 2. Okay. Layer 2s generally kind of suck. Oh, wow. This thing's been selling off forever. Look at that. It was up at, this is all time. 350, now it's at a buck. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So maybe. Layer 2s aren't nearly as good as layer 1s. Maybe. Not super enthusiastic, but I like the fact it's breaking these highs. Stops are not going to be easy, but could run. Meme is a meme, and it's behaving like a meme. Well, I guess not like a meme. Like a meme should behave. Basically doing not a lot right there. MNT mover pulling in. Don't like that. That's choppy. Kind of a choppy run up here for Neo, but not bad. Stops at any low, but hard to get in it. OM. Um, this thing is interesting. The chart on this thing is, I like this chart. I like the tightness, the consolidations of it. I like how it doesn't have lower lows on the daily almost at all. I like this chart. Um, Even this consolidation is really tight. We did undercut those lows right there. So really nothing to buy, but I think this is definitely worth keeping an eye on. Ondo, Harmony. Most of these look like they're popping out of these lows. Oh, I need a stretch this morning. Jeez. Actually worked yesterday. Tough on my body. I'm getting old now, so. So someone mentioned render. Here's render. What do you say, render? Good structure for uptrend. It's okay. I'd say it's average. I'd say it's average. I do like, yeah, I mentioned earlier these ones that have like two bases like this. I'm not very good at these. I guess maybe if I looked for them and practiced them, I'd figure out a way in. But I've never really focused on that. And this is one of those that kind of has a breakout and a pull in. I mean, maybe could be considered a base on base if that's what you're seeing there. I think I did Gala already. Yeah, Gala's up here. I'll go back in a second. Um, could be a base on base, which means it's due a large explosion up. So possible. You got a level here of the 8301. It's kind of that level for render. So yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. If you can get a stop under yesterday's low, hopefully that holds, but we haven't broken out yet, so it's not for sure, but it's going to be pretty down. Yeah, at 10%. It's a tough stop loss on render, but it had a good uptrend here. Notice I did have the alert to 7492. Just didn't really perform very well. Come in, probably stopped people out. Probably, yeah, maybe. It never actually fully undercut from the. So there's the breakout. There's the prior low. Never fully undercut. That's not too bad. Gala. Yeah, I did go. Well, I didn't go over, but I looked at it. I was just hitting down on my list here. Similar situation with Gala, although, not really. Looks like it's already broken out of whatever that structure wants to be. Pulling back right now. Pullback buy could be advantageous. Maybe stops under low of day. 13%. That's wide. I don't want to stop that wide. Yeah, right. BTC. I had what did I trade? I think I traded with I think I had four BTC. I just traded them. It was just a trade. I was never supposed to buy and hold them. Um, I had four BTC at 250 bucks ish thereabouts, 220 something like that. Yeah, there you go. think it just goes to show that you should always have a HODL wallet, you know? And I don't know, we're up at these levels are fucking crazy. But you know what these levels show? I mean, we were just at 60,000. I'm sure a lot of you guys were thinking like me, like you weren't really flabbergasted at Bitcoin 30, 40, 50,000, 60 on the way up 60, but 100,000. It is a big round number that does do something to you psychologically. And I don't think this can be underestimated. How solid of an asset is Bitcoin? It is such a solid asset. Yeah, it has 80%, 70% drawdowns. After this, though, I don't know if we'll get another 80% drawdown. All right. Okay, I want to continue this thought. I really don't want to go through all these freaking coins. It's too many damn coins. It's too many coins. There's too many good things happening. XLM is based on XRP. That is the maybe this is back in the top 20. Jeez, I'm gonna have to put that back in my top 20. It is number 13. It's up 176%. It's back in the top 20. Holy shit. That's crazy because it does nothing. It does nothing. What was I talking about? Okay, let's go back to BTC. I think. All right, so I'm the guy on the microphone. I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. Um, what we all should have been doing, and probably should do from here on out, right? I'm just going to be honest. Probably should do this from here on out. And there's some people that have did this, and they're probably wiser than me. I will say it. It's been a wise thing just to chunk into BTC every paycheck. I mean, come on. It's just been the wise thing to do. And I haven't done it. I've never done it. I've only put money in once. Um, yeah, should just chunk in. And now it's going to seem silly too because it's at 100K, right? But make you think back on some things. I mean, there's trading, there's investing, there's all kinds of different ways to manage money. Um, we take risk into our own hands, whether that's a good or a bad thing. That's kind of what we all do. I'm not, that's what I do. I do that every day, trade every freaking day. And whether it's wise or not's a different issue. There's a lot, you can look back and say, I mean, BTC is an obvious one. I think we all know that. Um, Pretty much everything else, though, was not. Like everything else, almost any stock, you could say Nvidia, you could say Apple, you could say there's those, I call them very obvious trades. But the problem is they're boring and no one does them because part of this trading thing is the fact that we think we're smart and we think we can make sound decisions based on market principles. And the principles are sound if you can find the right assets to trade. But you then have to do the right thing at the right time. And so it's like five things that have to happen every day to be successful in this. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult. And I've been successful. I as of this year multimillionaire. So I mean it can happen. It's possible. Would I have done better just holding BTC? I wouldn't have personally. Personally, I wouldn't have. I figured out because when I first got into crypto was in 2017. Let's go through this story real quick because it's story time. It's kind of fun, I guess. At least for me. Maybe because I'm the one speaking. When I first got into crypto, so I saw it in 2013. Like I said, I traded this parabolic move up into 1,000. I saw this flag as a chartist. I saw this flag. I bought right there and learned about it a little bit. Digital money, okay, whatever, sounds good. Now I know what it is. And then I bought it because there was a chart pattern. That was it. I'm a chart pattern guy. So I bought a chart pattern. I sold, I don't know if it was on one of these peaks, but I remember it's very difficult to sell. I forget which peak I sold, but it's very difficult to sell. And maybe it was Mount Gox. I don't remember what Mount Gox was. It could have been Mount Gox that I traded on. I don't remember. It's possible. So I think Mount Gox was around in 2013, was it not? So, unless this was Mount Gox. Anyway, I traded it, I sold it, I got my money. I was like, damn, that was, at that point in time in 2013, I was not a good trader in 2013. That's probably the most profitable trade I ever had, to be quite honest with you. And I said to myself, don't forget about Bitcoin. Then I forgot about it. Never looked at it for years and years. Then 2017 came along, and I found a friend of mine You may know him as Node Investor on YouTube. I'm not even sure if he's still on there anymore, but I know him from stocks. He's actually local to me. We did a couple live streams together back in the day, and I saw him at an Investors Business Daily meetup. I'm like, hey, what are you up to? He's like, oh, I'm doing this crypto thing. I'm like, oh, Bitcoin. I traded that. So I look back at it again, 2017, and we're at 3,000. And at 3,000, it was before the breakout. It was a big cup and handle. So I saw it. I think it was even, no, it was like September. No, it was, I remember the 3,000 breakout. Anyway, so I saw it over here, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take 10,000 bucks, and I'm just gonna buy Bitcoin because I remember it being at 250 bucks when I bought it, and now it's 10x that. I'm like, oh, I should just buy 3 Bitcoin. And that was my plan, to buy 3 Bitcoin. Then I learned about crypto, blah blah blah. I start the channel, and of course, within like a matter of probably weeks, I don't know the time frame, I'm trading the stupid thing because I can't stop myself because I'm an addict to trading. Um, so I would have had 3 Bitcoin. I would have 3 Bitcoin right there, which would be 300,000 today, right? Rounding up. So do I have 300,000 in crypto today? I do not. I do not. Margin trading, stupid decisions, overnight liquidations, and it just ends up being what it ends up being. But I've got well over my 10,000, so I guess that's good. But I've got a hodl Bitcoin position and a hodl Ethereum position, and I just hodl those things. But if I were to have dollar cost averaged every paycheck, like, or even every month, $100 every month from 2017, I mean, what kind of money? What are we talking here? You know, we're talking 100. What is that? Well, 2017 is when I got good in stocks. So that was 8 years ago. So 8 times 12 times 100, 9,600 bucks. I guess I could have done that math. And then, like, what's the average price of Bitcoin that you would have paid? You know? And again, I know we're traders. I'm a trader. I'm going to trade, but let's just say the average price is 22,000, right? So you got like a half a Bitcoin. You got a half a Bitcoin. That's 50K. You're up 5x. Not too bad. So anyway, um, yeah, I'm not a big fan of, like, I guess that could be considered DCA, but anyway, yeah, 100,000 Bitcoin makes you think. Makes you think. Yes, yes, Trip, 100%. I'm much more successful in stocks than crypto. I like how stocks trade better. Um, I trade a lot of options, and I do very well with that. So there's like, remember when you were 1 years old and they gave you this board with a star and a circle and a trapezoid, and they gave you these blocks that go in those pegs? I fit options and stocks like a square peg to a square hole. It just works with me. Even just regular trading stocks doesn't work with me as well. Um, I can't explain it. It's just my brain. It's just the way that it is. But I chart the exact same way. No matter what I do, I chart the exact same way. So it's a bit of an enigma even to me. Um, but yeah, absolutely. It's been stocks and options, and leveraged ETFs and stocks. Um, the hard part about crypto, there's a lot of hard parts about crypto, but I just, there's a mental block in my head with buying and holding long term. I can't do it. My brain has been trained that the neural pathways that have been developed by me and by the people that I listen to, I don't buy and hold. I can't do it. I can't do it. Um, every time I try, I get my ass handed to me. And so, yeah, and the fact of the matter is this. I, I'm a person, I like to know everything. Okay? It's just who I am. I like to learn. I'm a big learning sponge. I know so much useless garbage information, and I know a lot of really great information. I can do just about anything. Um, it doesn't require a 4-year college degree for the most part. Um, I can do anything. So I can, but what do I actually do is a problem for me, because I like so many things. Like, I like computer programming, and I like working on cars, and I like building houses, and I like theoretical physics, even though I'm not a physicist. I like charting. I'm a huge stock fan. I like options. But, when it comes to woodworking, or we're going to go through a house renovation, I'm going to do it a certain way, and that certain way is what makes me Randy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Randy, I do these things, and I don't buy and hold. I just don't fucking do it. And what I've trained myself to be good at, which is, the stock option trading, has done me so well that I don't even need to learn buy and hold. You know what I mean? Like, I could nitpick and say, oh, I should have bought Nvidia at 7 and never sold it. And yeah, I would have done better, of course, duh. But um, yeah, that was like holding for 20 years. Like someone said, who's going to hold for 15 years? Who's going to do that? But I think it's a valid question. I don't think it's a rhetorical question. I think it's a valid question. I think you explore all of these options, and I got to go in like 10 minutes. I think you explore everything. You explore the buy and hold. Like, what have I done? What would I do? Like, what's in the future for Bitcoin? $1 million Bitcoin's coming, guys. I, believed it back then, but at 100,000, a million is definitely doable. And that's a 10x. So do you do the $100 a month and just put it in and put it in? You're not going to have $100 million, but you'll have a couple. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a couple, and then maybe you do the $100, and then you when Bitcoin falls super down low, we go in with chunks and trade the rest on the way up, and then you have it all. I think that's the only way. I don't know. So I've got a cold wallet. Um, I have a paper wallet and a cold wallet. It doesn't have a ton of BTC in it. It's like zero point 0.2. It's like 0.2 BTC, but even that's bigger than the 10K I initially put in. So I'm sure a lot of people have similar stories to mine, minus the trading options part. Um, but yeah, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it, but it makes me think. Really, the 100K just made me think. I do like to do a lot of reflecting and try to be better, and I hope you guys do too, and don't just get mad and um, because a lot of people get mad, and I get mad too. Not that I don't get mad, but I do like to sit and reflect. I like to have all sides of the token, all sides of the dice. So I just hold because I don't want to pay taxes. Okay, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm gonna have to pay a lot of taxes this year, as a matter of fact. I think I have to pay $70,000 in taxes, which is funny because I knew in January I was gonna make like a shitload of money in cash this year from the stock market, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to have like a fucking like $100,000 stock market bill. So I do have a full-time job still for some reason, and so I just basically have a shitload taken from my check. And the lady that manages the book, she's like, uh, is your check right? You're having a lot withheld. I'm like, yeah, I did that on purpose. But even with that, it's going to be like, I got to pay like 70K. But that's okay. That's how I trade. And I'm happy to pay it. I mean, happy to pay it. Doesn't bother me. It's the price of business. Price of business. I'm not good at holding either. Quite enjoy the excitement and margin trading through, though liquidation sucks. Yeah, absolutely, liquidation sucks. Bad decision sucks when it comes to margin trading. Um, it's a skill. It's its own skill. The only way I've ever been able to be successful at it is waiting for like these moments, like in just for example, um, like I would take in this when we're wedging up here, coming to a breakout, I would probably, you know, buy this and then get stopped out, hopefully break even if I'm there. Buy this, get stopped out, buy this, and do really well. So anytime I've ever tried to margin trade, that's what happens. Multiple stops out, but they're usually smaller, and then I will add to positions. I'll take initial positions and then I'll add to positions, and just have my stop loss. Usually make sure my stop loss is ideally less than 10 to 15% of the position, not even my total capital of the position, and then go with it. But yeah, it's a tough one. All right, guys, I gotta run. I got a soccer thing to coach, and that's all, guys. That's all. I think crypto's in a great spot. I think we are gonna go past 100,000. It's just a number. We're up here long enough. I don't know how long we got to be up here for, but oh, one thing I did want to look at, which you guys can do on your own if you care. I don't have time to look at it, but if you go to 10,000 in 2017 when we broke 10,000, there was and I probably have a video on this. So check my channel. probably for like November 30th in 2017. I probably have a video about this. This is 10,000 right here, right there. So we rallied substantially, came in super hard, and I thought Bitcoin was done. It was the fastest turnaround. You're going to get the intraday chart if you look for that video. Look for that video because we could handle 100K like this. It's fully possible. We go up, we come back down, then we reverse right back again because the market seems like it just broke out. So we'll see. But check that out. I need to look at that later if I remember. I wanted to do that, but I forgot about it till just right now, but I got to run. So check that out if you guys want to. I don't know what the video is going to be called. Just look at the dates. Look at my older videos. I would start with oldest dates first and look for something around then because I have talked extensively about that 10K flipperoo because it gave huge. Look at this stalling candle on that day, but then it immediately turned around within I think 2 hours and then gave you a bottoming signal just as good and then continued. So check that out, guys. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Hit the like button, subscribe to the show, and sign up for the Power Hour if you haven't already. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.